So this is it, game number 2 of round 20. You'll watch every moment on Fox League, and we're underway on our doubleheader Friday night, and it's White with the first carry of the match. Look on the money here. Brayley in career best form. Hines, Nicola, that's his go-to on the inside. They're only 11 metres away. Brayley, lovely scoop up. He caught him offside. It was almost professional foul stuff. The tackle of Feketi, back to Kennedy, and he slides over anyway. The Roosters, they clocked off ever so briefly, and it was enough for Cronulla. Another 10 away from the line. Brayley with Trindall, there's Hines, and the Roosters defence aims up, but the penalty for offside. Walker will look for Tupou. How many times have you seen that? The flying Daniel Tupou. Age will not weary him. Could it be a second Sharks try here? Well done, yes it will be. Bounce through like a pinball off the flippers of the Roosters there.
That time it looked a lot better, and they got down and contained. Oh, here we go.
Brayley, he is absolutely on fire. Back for Hines. Cronulla has got their third try. Hines the 7, but the 9 is in absolutely sublime form. He is just maybe the best dummy half in the comp at the moment. Walker double punt. Quick hands along from Butcher to Tupou. Butcher as an anxious centre. Here come the Roosters. Walker back to Tedesco. Talk about tries against the run of play. And an amazing cameo played in this by the number 16. Carry back to the inside, takes a kicker out of play. Brayley again, so swift. Trindall dummy, and a try-saving tackle was quite incredible from Blake Steep. Walker here, last tackle play. Townsend's the kicker. He's sending the Wangani to us. Hey, on the run. Militella there, it's batted back. Big time, right in front of the post. Play on Roosters. Big chance. Still the last tackle, and over they go. Angus Crichton scores for the Roosters. Brayley, great ball. Trindall, Sharks again, ripping and tearing through the Roosters. Billy Burns. Home points here would be critical to the match. Hines, out it comes. Viola shows confidence on debut. Viola has gone over for the Sharks. He's got to move, and he's busted a move right there to score a try. What a moment. Through 4 tackles, Cronulla. Brayley, Kennedy, step, cut down, great tackle. Collins there, saved a try. Got to hang on. Field goal, Trindall. That puts an exclamation mark on a 13-point lead. Lovely setup, Cronulla. Up, Cronulla, folks. They're starting to show some really good signs, with a favourable draw coming up. 31-18 over the Roosters.
Fitzy Robbo lamented that you guys probably won the physicality battle early in the first half, and that proved crucial tonight. What impressed you the most is that start? You seem to be really on it, especially with the ball in hand in the first half.
Yeah, we played. Played intense, I think. So did they. I didn't think it was clear cut that way. I thought they'd showed up, and whoever was winning the field position battle early was getting the upper hand, and we got that. We got enough of that early to sort of take a bit of energy out of them, if you will. But now we looked up and about tonight. Sorry, I thought we had a good energy about us and a good spirit, and thought that showed out.
Are you glad as a coach that you can win games in different ways? Like, they came back, a few errors to start the second half, but you guys didn't panic, came with a few crucial plays, and then in the end, kick clear to win it by 13?
Yeah, we've had a number of different ways of winning this year, where we've been out in front, teams come back, got away with it in the end, and that's the competition. It just seems to have these momentum swings at the moment where you get in control and you dominate, and then it quickly switches back the other way. And when the quality of opponent is as strong as theirs, you're never comfortable. Like, even though we're playing really well, it wasn't entirely comfortable.
Had a lot to play for with Adams 200s, but the young man on debut, how special was that score on the try?
Yeah, we just talked about it now. It was obviously special for Ads last week, and then this week, guys. Just a market consistency, isn't he? So, and then Chrissy V debut and then try. We saw the energy that put through the team. I thought that was a really important moment. And old mate playing. Again, he was crook last week with an infection, didn't train all week, and then gets out tonight and throws out 80. So it's like, plenty to celebrate. But still more work to come. Still tidying up some areas, but can't fault the effort and spirit, because that was a tough game tonight.
What did you like about Chris's defence in the second half? Because they were going after him in that first half, had a bit of joy, but in the second half, seemed to shut it down quite well. Yeah,
a couple of adjustments there on his positioning, and it's a lot to take in. Like, you found out a couple of days ago, he's playing. It's not ideal, the preparation that you would have liked the whole week and work on things and train things. So had to make some adjustments, but he's an intelligent kid, and he did that, and I thought he handled it pretty well.
Is Blake Brayley the form hooker of the NRL at the moment?
Oh, I hope people are saying that about him. It feels like it. He's obviously he's been our player of the year the last 2 years, so we feel like he's consistent, but it's nice that he's getting some acknowledgement. And probably the most important thing is what he's doing for our halves. You know, I think he's actually, the spine is starting to organise and get that better.
I know you say he's been consistent, he's been a player of the year for the last 2 years, but it feels like in the last 2 months, though, he's sort of gone to another level. I don't know if you agree, but he looks a lot more confident. I know there's always the joke about, him running down dummy half, but you're getting the roll on and he's able to a bit more. But do you feel like he's gone to another level the last 2 months?
Yeah, look, I just think he's underestimated, has been, and now all of a sudden people are onto it. Like, we've been playing far stronger footy in the last couple of years and no one's noticed him. So we haven't been playing that good the last 6 weeks, and everyone's talking about Blake. So it doesn't make sense to me in that way. But I've got to say, he's obviously stepping up a little. He's added to his game, that's for sure. I think that's it'd be a nice compliment for a kid that's busted his backside for 120 games straight and then now getting some recognition. But he's a good kid.
Cam, as a hooker by trade, how have you seen Blake, I guess, take what Fitz talking about there, maybe a little bit more leadership there in the spine type of role and guiding things a bit more there?
Yeah, just backing up what Fitz said, in these walls, Blake's what he means to us, we can't really say highly enough, but the way our game works is when he runs and makes a line break, he's playing good footy. Well, he's been playing good footy for 4 years, but those highlight moments are what everyone's looking at now, and he has them, plus all the little stuff he does for our team. So, mate, if I played hooker and he plays hooker, I didn't play hooker. If that makes sense. I'm nowhere near that level of capability. So, lucky to have him.
Fitz, I know you said yesterday you're not looking too far ahead, but this was one of those 4-point games, right? Two teams locked on 22 points. How important was this for your push towards the top 8, and are you confident you can get a bit of a run on now going into August and September?
We can't afford to. The comp's too tight to look at the end of the year for us, and mate, we just simply had to go back to the basics of what we value, and we've done that for a couple of weeks now. But the quality of opponent in front of us tonight was we weren't hung on the outcome for us, because they're good. That's a good side. They've got 5 Origin players in that team. We had to perform. The outcome's nice. It's really nice. I'm not going to shy away from the fact we needed to win and got to win, but it was we needed to perform with some consistent attributes that we shown last week and back it up. So in theory, the outcome would take care of itself, and it did tonight, but it's not. We've got to keep at it. It's still not there.
And 2 things looking ahead for next week. How's Britton? Any concerns about Blake? Put on a report for that tackle.
What do you think?
It really doesn't matter what I think.
It's the old throwaway line. I didn't think there's much, but anyway, I don't know. But it's probably. I felt like the actual assistance from the two guys up top made it the angle a little bit worse than it probably was, but I don't think it was much. But Billy obviously didn't come back on, so what that looks like, I'm not sure.
Fitz, just got to ask, you mentioned Cam, he was ill last week. He's sitting there with blood all over his face, beaten up. Over this past period, I guess ever since you've worked with him at the club, how important is he keeping this all together and keeping you guys from, over the past month or so, where you mentioned not great footy, into a performance like tonight?
Yeah, I've relied on Cam a lot, feel like we challenge each other on certain things, and he's been dirty on himself for the last sort of period of leadership, but that's not how I feel. I feel like he's actually been super consistent. The boys revere him. To lose Dalph and Newcombe last year and have had both of them, and then for Cam to just assume that role and take it over with both hands, it's been a pleasure to work alongside him. And then like tonight, I don't have time to talk you through his last couple of weeks, but to play 80 on and go after it, like he didn't just play 80, he wasn't existing at any point, he's going after it. So there's a special guy, a special player.
Okay, you talking through your last few weeks? So what, you went to hospital? In all seriously, you went to hospital on game day last week, right, to get
didn't Blake Bradley say in the media last week everything and said I was an infection through the
what was this week like for you? Because are you still crook at the moment?
No, I'm fine. I just had a boil there and then got it cut, but just they looked after me this week so that it wouldn't get worse. And then but tonight it was fine. Like energy's fine, everything's fine.
Too humble. It got way worse. He got it sorted again, and he's just tough enough to deal with it and turn up and do what he did tonight. So he's too humble, honestly.
Has there been any point in the last 2 weeks, Fitz, where you've considered, like you thought he wouldn't play, or
no,
just because of who he is essentially?
Yeah. Oh, he tried to hide it from me last week, so I wouldn't doubt him. I
also didn't want everyone to know how to boil too.
Sorry, Fitz mentioned that you were dirty on your leadership aspects there. What was that referencing, do you know? He wasn't dirty, but
Stop
you were?
About what he's dirty about. He's just got it done. He's just too hard on himself. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Roy, how do you sum that one up? Because you seem to get the momentum right on half-time in that long-range try. Started the second half really well, and then just errors probably cost you in the end.
Yeah, we got beaten physically. They were much more dominant in the way they carried the ball and the way they tackled. So that's it's not a good starting point. But then I thought the character of the team sort of held on to that and then worked their way back into the game. It wasn't looking pretty there for probably 30 minutes, and then to get back to 8 points and then get back to 2 points. And then we had some good possession down there, and we didn't look like we wanted to with the ball. Lots of errors. I think 50% in the second half is pretty tough. So we just lacked the physical presence, and then lacked the cohesion there to go and nail the points needed.
How do you weigh those errors up? Because a few of them were those long passes from Sam and Chad. Like, you want them going for those, but execution's key, I guess, there.
Yeah, I thought our skill was poor tonight. I thought our catch was poor. I thought, the connection there on how we caught the ball between each other. We're a pretty flowing team there when it comes to our movement, and it was really stop-start, and the skill level just... it ended up costing us a lot in a lot of areas.
I know it didn't decide the game, but just the incident with Billy Smith, can I just get your thoughts on it and how it was sort of handled? Because I know they trialled it in the pre-season with that. I think if you're on report and you fail the HIA...
It's a hard one. If it was an illegal tackle and he gets concussed from it, it cost us an interchange. It's like... It's a really hard one there, goes back for a penalty. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really tough one for me there. What was I wanted to ask about the try under the post with the hand, his elbow on the ground and Spencer's hand on him. Was that commented on at all?
I think they said maybe his hands weren't touching. I don't. Yeah.
It was really clear. It was a really clear touch there. It was pretty critical time there. I think we had 3 sixes again. and it's really clear. I don't understand why that wasn't overturned.
What did the ref say for that one, Ted? And also the first try, I think Chad
that one he just said he slipped off the tackle. That's last. I said he had a hand on him while he was on the ground, but he just said he slipped. What was the first one?
I don't know, it just felt like that offload came. I think that's what Chad was complaining to the ref about.
Yeah.
That the offload came later than.
Yeah, no, he said he hadn't caught held. So it's just poor, really.
Had you guys stopped at that point though, Ted? Like, was it like
Yeah, I stopped, but yeah, I was also fast. I don't know if he called held or
No,
stopped
he didn't.
or sort of,
That was sort of, we stopped, but they kept playing, and he offloaded it to Kennedy there, and we should have kept moving on that one.
I know you say that it was sort of one of those nights where the catch was poor and whatnot, but
Yeah.
is that a case of, it just becomes contagious? Is it a case of when you have turnover in your halves, which has been forced upon you, really, that like everything's that little bit out of that tiny bit disjointed, or?
We were just forcing it at the end, really. Like I put it on myself, trying to force something that we weren't creating ruck speed, we were creating opportunities. We were just trying to create something off a slow play ball with poor catch and skill. So it's on me a bit there. And our spine, we didn't execute our sets or our system as well as we could, and then we're just trying to force it, and that's what come up with errors. So, like Robbo said, our cohesion and connection was down, and then we're trying to create something on our own. So, again, that's on us. It's just not good enough.
Is there an issue with Victor there, Robbo, with the shoulder?
Yeah, he just was carrying it a bit there at the end, and they're sort of checking on it there. Hopefully it'll be okay, but I saw it, he was running, he was hanging it sort of down there, so it was enough to get him off there and get Fahu back on.
Is there anyone else, obviously Billy, any other issues out of the night?
No, not that I know of, no.
And you mentioned the physicality there, getting beaten first up.
Yeah.
How critical and how do you turn it around into a Thursday night game against Melbourne, who are one of the most physical teams in the comp?
You have to. It's not really anything other than you have to. I don't think we don't lose our physicality, but there's both a training bit to that, but also a mentality and we have to.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.